Hello everyone, welcome back to another new episode. And before I start, let me ask you one question. How good are you in facing a job interview? Well, the fact is, everybody feels nervous, no matter how good you are in speaking or how talented you are professionally. But at the time of an interview, that intense situations where nervousness kills everything. Imagine you are at the middle of an interview and there comes a questions which you don't know how to answer. That is the toughest time to get rid of. Suddenly your throat starts drying up, lips start shaking, and you start stammering. Eventually at the end, you say nothing but a nonsense. And I believe every one of us have gone through with this kind of situation in life. That's the reason a thorough preparation for a job interview is much more important than anything else, because one single mistake can tear apart your whole effort towards achieving your dream job. Therefore, today in this video, I'm going to talk about how a job interviews are conducted here in Canada, and also I'm going to share with you some most frequently asked questions so that you guys will have an idea and get the preparation about it. Alright guys, without any delay, let's get started. In Canada, job interviews are comprised of 4 to 5 stages, and you have to clear each stages to qualify for a final interview. Alright guys, let's start from the stage 1. And the stage 1 is telephone interview. This is the basic interview. Some general question would be asked, so there is nothing to worry about. There would be questions something like this. Number 1, tell me something about yourself or introduce yourself. Question number 2, what do you know about the company? Question number 3, why did you choose this job? And there will be some questions based on your current status, they would ask you, why are you going to leave your current job in case you are currently working, or otherwise they would ask you, why did you leave your previous job? And to answer this question, remember one thing, try not to say anything negative about the company or any of the employees there, because that would not leave a good impression. It's better to say something else, right? Even though your reason for leaving the job is as such. And they would also ask you, do you have a license or a certificate in case if the job requires that thing, okay? Otherwise they would not. And question number 6 would be, when are you available for the job? So friends, like this, some general basic questions would be asked, and at the end they will tell you that they will contact you by an email if you qualify for the next round. So stage 2, and this will also be a phone interview, but this time they will ask you questions based on your skills and work experiences, okay? Therefore you have to be very careful. All your answers to these questions should be from your past work experiences. You must give an examples like what had happened and how did you do it. Don't give any imaginary answer, okay? All right, then let's start with question number 1. Tell me about the time when you have to face an angry customer. How did you control the situation? Question number 2. Tell me about the time when you have to make a critical decision. What was that? Question number 3. One day, 2 of your team members suddenly resigned from the job. You have a project deadline closing in 2 days. How will you manage the situation? Question number 4. Tell me about the time management with an example pertaining to your past experiences. Question number 5. What is your biggest weakness? And let me tell you one thing about this. Most of the time people say that I don't have any weakness. Don't say like that. Everybody does have a weakness. Therefore, you have to be very honest. Tell them what is your biggest weakness, alright? And remember one thing, whenever you mention about your weakness, don't forget to tell them that you are working on it and you will improve it very soon. By saying that, they will understand that you are aware about your weakness and you are working on it, alright? Here we have friend in the stage 3, which is assessment. Basically it's a personality or a behavior testing assessment. Some companies do this at the very beginning of an interview, like as a stage 1 of an interview. Some company does in the middle, so it depends on the company to company. In the assessment there would be 50 to 100 questions, and all the questions are multiple choice type of questions. Questions are based on the type of job you have applied for, and you have to answer all the questions within a given frame of time. Now let me show you some examples of the questions, okay? So when a company sends an email about the assessment, and when you click that email, and they provide a link there for the assessment, so when you click that link, it appears like this. Start the test, and then when you read everything, then you have to click on the here, start the test. Start the test, and here question will start. To what extent do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Like the question is, my goals in life are clear. So what do you think? Strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. So what is your choice? Just think about it, right? According to you, just say like strongly agree, click next. Okay, and then second question again came. If people are rude to me, I just shrug it off. So what do you do? How do you behave, right? What is your reaction accordingly? Just you. And choose here. Like says strongly agree or agree, neutral, what you want to do. Like even if you can click on neutral, if you can disagree, then you click on disagree, whatever, right? Just click and then click next. Stage 4, our final interview. This interview will be in person, face to face. Sometimes there will be only one person, and sometimes there will be a panel of 2 to 3 interviewers. So it depends on your luck. And in the final interview, 40 to 50% of the question will be somewhat similar to the questions asked in the stage 2 of interview. Okay, let's start with the question number 1. What do you know about the company? Question number 2. Why do you think that this job is a best fit for you? Question number 3. How do you manage rush hour? Question number 4. Tell me about the time when you have to address a customer who is complaining about a mistake which is not done by you but by one of your colleagues. What will you do? Question number 5. One day at work, you notice that 2 of your co-workers are not working in the working hours. Rather, they are busy in their personal chit-chat. What will be your approach and why? Question number 6. Tell me about the time when you have to handle a difficult customer. How did you overcome the situation? Question number 7. If this job is offered to you, where do you see yourself in the future? And at the end, they will ask you, do you have anything to ask? And I would like to mention here about these questions that don't say that you don't have anything to ask. It's always better that you have something to ask, right? Therefore, you should always ask something. Because, when you do so, it shows that how excited you are for the job, right? How curious you are for your role and responsibility, as well as to know about the company. Okay, therefore you should always ask something. But remember one thing, you shouldn't ask 3 things. Okay, first is don't ask anything about your salary. Second, shift. Third, your holidays or day off. Don't ask these 3 things. If the salary is negotiable, they themselves will ask you, they will discuss about it. Okay, so it's not necessary from your end to ask about it, or like what is your salary, or like what will be the salary, and or whatever it is. Okay, this is how the job interviews are generally conducted here in Canada. But at the same time, I would like to say that this is not the only way how job interviews are conducted in Canada. Different companies have different ways and different formats and different selection procedures. The important is what are the questions most frequently asked. And 60% of the questions I mentioned here are most frequently asked in almost all the interviews. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching my video. I will see you next week with another new topic, with another new video. Until then, take care, have a good day. Bye bye.